Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God sat around a stone table with a floating screen in front of them. On the screen were large amounts of information regarding the Universe Mercenary trainee exam. The Universe Mercenary trainee exams are all conducted in the Sector Lord's world. In the Sector Lord's world, other than the dangers of the world itself, the greater danger comes from the other participants of the exam. Robberies can happen at any time, and other people can steal the items you obtain. Luo Feng read the information and frowned. Participating in the trainee exam, if you're a star level 2 or 3 stage newbie, it's best to find a star level 8 or 9 stage to form a team. That way you'll at least have the ability to resist or escape from a robbery. Never, ever go in with just a few star level 1 or 2 stage newbies. Even if you're lucky and get the items, they'll still be robbed. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God finished reading the information and exchanged glances, speechless. So the most dangerous ones are actually the other participants of the mercenary trainee exam? Thunder God shook his head helplessly. The human heart is the hardest to predict, emphasized Hong. Fortunately, we brought 2 servants with us. Even though Luo Feng felt the heavy pressure, he wasn't too nervous. Because when he left, to prevent any trouble, Luo Feng brought along 2 star level 9 slaves. One had to know he had bought a group of star level 9 slaves. Of these 2, one was a spirit reader and the other was a fighter. They were 2 of the most outstanding ones. These group of star level 9 stage slaves were all taught some basic training techniques by Luo Feng. Since they were slaves, they naturally weren't afraid of betrayal, so Babata didn't stop them. Find a star level 8 or 9 stage to form a team? Laughed Thunder God. Ha, luckily we have 2 powerful helpers. Yeah, we don't need to find a team anymore, laughed Hong. Team up. There's no law to protect them, so they naturally can't trust each other 100%. Preventing someone from stabbing you in the back is very tiring. Luo Feng and the other 2 were lucky to have 2 star level 9 stage slaves. This way they can form a team of 5, and the team is incomparably united. In the vast universe, normally people of the same race or from the same hometown would have deep feelings for each other. After all, there were too many human races in the universe and the number of planets was uncountable. Daddy, what are you looking at? Luo Hai, a boy in a battle suit, skipped over. I'm busy, come give Daddy a kiss. Luo Feng laughed as he ran over and hugged his son. That night, Luo Feng and the others sat in a universe ship and left by Lan Star. The first adventurer's identity had to be done in the Universe Mercenary Alliance in the real world. Only with an adventurer's identity could one take the trainee mercenary exam. LuoFeng's destination was Dragon Star. 10 days later. On Dragon Star, the Universe Mercenary Alliance's encampment was like a city. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God and 2 star level 9 stage bodyguards entered. There sure are a lot of people. Luo Feng praised. It's a sea of people. Thunder God was also dazzled. Large amounts of people entered the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Over 80% of them were here to register as adventurers. Luo Feng and the other 4 were also in the crowd, lining up with the other human races to register as adventurers. After around an hour it was finally done. Adventure card, this is an adventure card? Thunder God looked at the card in his hand. Don't lose it, it's very troublesome to make a new one. Laughed Luo Feng. Let's go, we'll go apply for the Universe Mercenary trainee exam. The number of people registering for the adventurer exam was the highest. And the number of people registering for the Universe Mercenary trainee exam was much lower, so Luo Feng and the others didn't need to line up at all. Star level 2 stage spirit reader, star level 2 stage fighter, star level 1 stage fighter, star level 9 stage fighter, star level 9 stage spirit reader. You all meet the requirements for the mercenary trainee exam. Please pay 10,000 Black Dragon dollars each. Very good. These are the details of your exam, take a look yourselves. After swiping Luo Feng and the others' adventure cards, their numbers have already entered the Universe Mercenary trainee exam system. They can go and take the exam. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and the others found a bar beside them and entered. After randomly ordering some drinks, they immediately started to carefully read the exam mission. Entered Cang Lan Star Sector Lord's World, obtain 3 wind cornerstones and a horned iron rhino horn. After that, hand them over to the Universe Mercenary Alliance workers guarding the exit of the Sector Lord's World. This means that you've passed the mercenary trainee exam. From now on you're a qualified Universe Mercenary trainee. The exam mission has the purpose of testing. Unlike normal adventures, this mission is to eliminate a large group of people. It definitely won't be easy, muttered Thunder God and then laughed. Wind cornerstone, horned iron rhino horn? When people spend money to buy it, they can just say that they got it themselves right. Look here. Luo Feng flipped to the 6th page of the exam explanation. The wind cornerstone is a type of stone that only exists in the Sector Lord's world. It contains the attributes of that world. And the ferocious beast, the horned iron rhino which is raised in the Sector Lord's world, has a mark left on its horn by the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Every time the mission is completed, the exam item will be taken back. Even if someone brings it out, the Universe Mercenary Alliance is extremely strict. Once they find out that someone cheats, they'll immediately cancel their chance to take the exam forever. And the person who sells it, they'll directly kill them. Luo Feng, Hong Chang, and the 2 bodyguards were discussing the Universe Mercenary trainee exam mission. 5 gentlemen. 5 sirs. An incomparably skinny man with big ears approached with a face full of smiles. 5 sirs are preparing to take the Universe Mercenary trainee exam, right? Luo Feng and the others looked over. The Black Dragon Mountain Star Field's trainee exams are all conducted in the Sector Lord's world on Cang Lan Star. Have a detailed map of that world, as well as the experiences of many seniors who completed the trainee exam, said the man in a low voice. With this, your chances of success will at least double. Detailed map? Experiences? Luo Feng looked at the skinny man. How much? Asked Thunder God. Not much, 100 Black Dragon dollars per copy, said the skinny man. Not much. Just 50 Black Dragon dollars per copy, said Thunder God directly. Deal? The skinny man was straightforward. On Dragon Star, Luo Feng and the others bought 2 sets of trainee exam books from 2 different places. After carefully comparing them, the maps were exactly the same. And the experiences were all over the place. However, as they read, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were shocked. This Sector Lord's world will change after a while. On Dragon Star, Luo Feng bought 2 level 2 battle uniforms and 2 level 2 genetic energy weapons, spirit weapons, for his 2 bodyguards. Maybe a high-quality level 2 spirit weapon would cost a few billion Black Dragon dollars, but he himself only uses a low-quality level 3 spirit weapon. Naturally, the weapons these 2 bodyguards use can only be considered a medium-quality level 2 spirit weapon. Level 2 spirit weapons are enough for a star level. After that, Luo Feng and the other 4 sat in a universe ship and left Dragon Star, heading towards the even more famous Cang Lan Star. Cang Lan Star, one of the top 100 most important planets in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's territory. The owner of this planet is a Sector Lord. Of course. This planet's leader doesn't live on Cang Lan Star right now. Aogu Tai Nan He. From now on, you 2 are the 2 most important members of our team. If we come across people trying to kill us, the 3 of us will have to rely on you. In the control room of the spaceship, the 5 of them were all there. Luo Feng was smiling as he looked at the 2 bodyguards in front of him. These were the 2 slaves he brought with him this time. Their appearances were close to that of an Earthling. Aogu was a star level 9 stage spirit reader. He was extremely skinny, his cheeks were fleshy, and his dark red hair was messy. His strength was the number 1 spirit reader out of all the star level 9 stage slaves Luo Feng bought. Tai Nan He was a tall and sturdy man with sunken eyes. The only difference between him and an Earthling was that he had 3 scales on his forehead. He was the number 1 fighter out of all the star level 9 stage slaves Luo Feng bought. Protecting the master is our mission, said the old man Aogu. Master, don't say that, said Tai Nan He. Don't be humble. In the future our team will last for a very long time. If our team disbands in the future after going through so many life and death situations, if you and I are still alive, I will choose to remove the control of your biochip and let you regain your freedom, said Luo Feng. Aogu and Tai Nan He's eyes flashed. Freedom. This is what every slave desires. However, under the control of the biochip, they have no way of disobeying their master's orders. Luo Feng nodded to himself. Slaves don't dare to resist, but by giving them a big picture, these 2 bodyguards will work even harder. And Luo Feng also decided that when these 2's strength becomes insufficient and the team disbands, it would be normal for them to be able to go through so many life and death situations with him. We're almost at Cang Lan Star. The spaceship is about to travel through the universe. Cang Lan Star. Aogu and Tai Nan He, these 2 bodyguards, had a bit of desire in their eyes. They will work hard and protect Luo Feng with their lives. Because once their master dies, they're done for. And they'll lose all hope of freedom. Not every master will give their slave a chance at freedom. After traveling through the universe, the spaceship headed towards an incomparably beautiful water blue planet. What a beautiful planet, it's almost as beautiful as our home. Luo Feng stood in the control room and complimented as he looked at the planet in the distant space. It's very beautiful. Thunder God also complimented, but it's really strange. This Cang Lan Star has a diameter of around 32,000 kilometers, and the Sector Lord's world hidden within Cang Lan Star in terms of area, is over 100 times the size of Cang Lan Star. In such a huge world, it's said that some peak stage world overlords are able to hide within a grain of sand. 1 grain of sand, 1 world, this is the power of a Sector Lord, complimented Hong. A Sector Lord's world is extremely mysterious. The Universe Mercenary trainee exam this time will be held in a Sector Lord's world. Who? The dark blue spaceship quickly flew towards Cang Lan Star. Cang Lan Star, LuoFeng's universe ship just arrived and was guided to the planet's docking port by the signal. We can only rely on flying now. It'll be quick. With our speed we'll arrive in a few minutes. Luo Feng smiled as he and the other 4 headed towards a bustling metropolis in the distance. Thunder City. Thunder City wasn't originally called this, but later on, a world created by a Sector Lord was discovered by people in Thunder City. And this Sector Lord's world, famous for its thunder, was called the World of Thunder. Thus, this city was also called Thunder City by people from other planets. We've arrived at Thunder City. LuoFeng's group of 5 landed. They could see floating cars everywhere in the city and some were even flying. The Universe Mercenary Alliance base is around 30 kilometers from here. Thunder God lowered his head and looked at the map that appeared on the mini-quantum computer. After that, he pointed towards the approximate northeast direction of the planet's magnetic field. After that, LuoFeng's group of 5 swiftly headed towards the Universe Mercenary Alliance base. The Sector Lord's world was in the base. The Universe Mercenary Alliance base was only built after the Sector Lord's world was discovered. Luo Feng's group of 5 entered the Universe Mercenary Alliance base. You guys head this way. The villa in front that's heavily surrounded is the World of Thunder. A staff member of the base pointed towards the distance. A staff member of the station pointed at a lonely villa in the distance that was surrounded by a large number of guards in an extremely spacious area. World of Thunder? Villa? The group of people all looked towards that villa. The staff member opened his mouth and laughed. Back then, the Sector Lord, who created the World of Thunder, probably lived in seclusion in Thunder City and bought a villa to create the World of Thunder. From the outside, who would be able to tell that there's a world much larger than the entire Cang Lan Star inside this villa? However, countless years have passed, and the surrounding villas have long turned into ruins. Oh. Luo Feng nodded and then smiled as he thanks. Let's go. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and the others directly headed towards the villa in the distance. The surroundings of the villa were heavily guarded. Suddenly, the guards actually swiftly opened a path. A man with a 1-star mercenary badge on his chest walked out and looked towards the sky. The surrounding guards were all extremely respectful. Looks like this Universe Mercenary is one of the leaders here. What's wrong? Luo Feng was a bit surprised. Look, there's a universe ship coming over. Thunder God pointed at the sky. The 5 of them and the surrounding people who had come to the Universe Mercenary Alliance base all looked up. A universe ship from afar. In a flash, it stopped in the air above the base, floating motionlessly. Wah! The hatch opened. Following them were young men and women who looked like they came from many different races. There were more than 20 of them. Lord Jia. That Universe Mercenary stepped forward. Among the 20 or so young men and women that flew down, there was an incomparably handsome man wearing a purple battle suit. On his chest there was a 2-star mercenary badge. I'm just sending some of my subordinates here to take the mercenary trainee exam. There's no need for you, the leader, to personally welcome them. Lord Gaia saved my life back then. Now that you're here, how can I not come out? The Universe Mercenary laughed, after which he looked at the surrounding group of young men and women. These are the Black Cloud Guild's new batch of rookies. They all look pretty good. Haha, there are a few good seedlings among this batch of rookies. The purple-robed man smiled and nodded. After which, the purple-robed man's gaze swept across the group of youths, shouting, the Universe Mercenary Trainee Exam. I won't say any more about the dangers. I just hope that the next time we meet at the Black Cloud Guild, I'll be able to see you all again. Hurry and enter the Sector Lord's world. Yes, Chief Instructor. The group of youths respectfully replied. After which, they naturally split into 4 small groups. Each group had star level 2 and 3 stages, as well as star level 8 and 9 stages. The 4 groups swiftly entered the villa one after another. The villa wasn't that big. But when the 20 or so people entered, it was like entering a bottomless pit. The purple-robed man stood there, like a normal person seeing a poisonous snake. He naturally felt his heart palpitate. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and the other 2 stood far away, not daring to approach. Black Cloud Guild? They're talking about the Black Cloud Guild? What's the Black Cloud Guild? Discussions carried from the surrounding crowd. What's the Black Cloud Guild? Luo Feng looked towards Hong and Thunder God. No idea. Master, we don't know either. Aogu and Nan He both shook their heads. Suddenly, the discussions beside them attracted Luo Feng and the others' attention. This Black Cloud Guild is one of the 4 big organizations of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire controls the entire Black Dragon Mountain star field. Its territory is vast, spanning over 8,000 galaxies. The strongest in the empire are of course the 2 sacred lands, followed by the 4 big organizations and the 16 great families. What are the 2 sacred lands? You don't even know this? The 2 sacred lands are Black Dragon Mountain and Icy God Country. It's said that the 2 sacred lands were created by Undying. They have many sector lords under them. The 16 great families, each family has at least 1 sector lord. Sector lord, that's a power that can destroy the heavens and earth, creating a world. Of course, any one of the 2 sacred lands can easily destroy the 16 great families. If the Black Dragon Mountain, Icy God Country, and the 16 great families are part of the government, then the 4 big organizations are part of the civil society. With tens of millions of years of history, some of the elders of the 4 big organizations from the ancient times even entered the Ganwu Universe country. The discussions beside made Luo Feng and the other 4 pay close attention. So, the power distribution of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was like this: 2 sacred lands for big organizations and 16 great families. Luo Feng, this is the information regarding the power distribution of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Babata's voice resounded in Luo Feng's mind. Immediately on the screen on Luo Feng's arm, large amounts of words and information appeared. Luo Feng lowered his head to read, simultaneously sending the information to Hong, Thunder God, Aogu and Nan He. Looking carefully, Luo Feng was shocked. The foundation of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was the Black Dragon Mountain and the Icy God Country, the 2 sacred lands. The government's strongest power. And among the civil society were the 4 big organizations. The power spread across thousands of galaxies. Every organization had a group of sector lords. In terms of power, they definitely couldn't be underestimated, and the background of the 4 big organizations all involved the powerful warriors of the Ganwu Universe country. Hence the 4 big organizations might not be as strict as the 2 sacred lands. However, the pinnacle of power was almost the same. What? Nulan Shan is from one of the 4 big organizations, the 100 Tiger Building? Luo Feng was shocked within the information Babata had given him. There was a rough introduction of Nulan Shan in the 100 Tiger building. After reading it, Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. It's still alright, he's only a basic member of the 100 Tiger building, he doesn't have much power. The 4 big organizations within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire could definitely cause a bloodbath. If the Nulan Shan family was a drop of water, then any one of the 4 big organizations would be an endless, raging ocean. As the pinnacle of power was strong, their backgrounds deep, hence the Black Dragon Mountain Empire could only silently acknowledge the existence of the 4 big organizations. Nulan Shan's background is that big? Thunder God was shocked, simultaneously using his genetic energy to form a soundproof barrier around him. He's only a basic member of the 100 Tiger building, not a higher up. Wong said. 100 Tiger building, one of the 4 big organizations, a Universe Level 9 fighter, was indeed considered a basic member. 3 Axe Mountain 100 Tiger building, Black Cloud Guild, North Dragon City. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire they can cover the sky with one hand. Luo Feng too felt a sense of longing. If one day he could hold a high position in this organization with one command, he would be able to turn the Nulan Shan family into ruins, thousands of life planets to surrender. Longing my ass. Power is the most important. When you have master's power, one word and you'll be able to make the entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire tremble in fear. Babata shouted, what bullshit sacred land, master already has 9 undying slaves under him. Luo Feng laughed. In front of the UNMO planet master, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had to lower its head. However, to Luo Feng, this Black Dragon Mountain Empire was still a huge monster. We're here to participate in the Universe Mercenary trainee exam. Luo Feng's group of 5 stood in front of the villa. D. The signal scanned Luo Feng's group of 5, the group of guards heard the signal and nodded, go in. Obviously, Luo Feng's group of 5's identity signal had been approved. A spacious garden. In the garden was a 3-story normal villa. At the entrance of the villa stood 2 cold-looking black-clothed women. One of the black-clothed women looked at Luo Feng's group of 5, emphasizing, 5 adventurers, I believe you understand the dangers of entering the Sector Lord's world. If you regret it now you can still back out. No need, open the door, said Luo Feng. Creak. One of the women in black pushed open the door of the villa. The Realm Lord's world is on the 2nd floor of the villa. Luo Feng's group of 5 entered in a single file, entered the main hall, and followed the stairs to the 2nd floor. The other rooms on the 2nd floor were very normal. Only one room had a lady with a purple tattoo on her face. She looked at Luo Feng and his team and immediately opened the door. Immediately a light flowed out from within. This is. Luo Feng and the others watched with bated breath. The light was like a bubble, causing Luo Feng and the others to be unable to see through the room. Once you enter, you'll be in the world of thunder. The woman replied coldly. Yes. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, Aogu, Nan He and the other 2 looked at each other, after which they all extended their hands, one holding the other. Because if they didn't hold hands, the 5 of them would be sent to different places once they entered the world of thunder. World of thunder. Let's go in. Nan He was the first to step into the light, followed by Thunder God, Luo Feng, Hong and finally Aogu. Big Dipper. Before it was still sunshine, villas, the bustling Universe Mercenary Alliance base. In the blink of an eye, it became night. Rumble. Nan He, Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God and Aogu had just arrived in the world of thunder. They immediately fell with shocking speed. The 5 immediately controlled the miniature planets within their bodies to change the gravity around them. However, it was still too late. With 5 low thuds, Luo Feng and the others all smashed into the ground below. That hurts. Luo Feng stood up. Is the ground filled with nails? Thunder God stood up too. The 5 stood up and surveyed their surroundings. The pitch-black world, only the distant skies had threads of light, causing the entire world to not be completely dark. And below their feet was an endless black desert. Desert? Hong was shocked as he squatted down. This is the death desert mentioned in the books we bought? Thunder God was extremely shocked too. We fell at such a high speed and only made such a small hole. This is still a desert? It's a desert. Luo Feng grabbed a handful of sand from the ground. The sand was dark blue, looking almost black. Every grain of sand was very heavy. The density was definitely 100 times higher than Earth's iron, and the sand had a magnetic force, causing all the sand to stick together. But landing earlier only made a small hole. The world of thunder, the gravity is about 3,900 times that of Earth. Hong said solemnly, because the entire world was created by Sector Lord experts using the universe origin energy. The foundation of the Sector Lord's world is the universe crystal. The soil, sand, rocks, etc. are all affected by the universe origin energy, and are much more special than the outside world. It's special, every grain of sand is very heavy. Luo Feng nodded. That's extravagant to create such a huge world. How much universe energy was used? Thunder God couldn't help but say. Universe energy. Only those who reached the Sector Lord level could unleash an unbelievable amount of energy. The moment this energy was condensed, it would become the universe crystal. Universe crystals were considered the hard currency of the universe. This wasn't like the silver blue dollars, black dragon dollars, Gangwu dollars, etc. It was formed from the universe energy. Hence, it could be used in any universe country, any race. The gravity is too strong, even my spirit energy is affected. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. What's the range? Thunder God asked. Not even 1,000th of Earth. LuoFeng said. Star Traveler Level 1 Spirit Readers on Earth, their spirit force could reach a range of 1 kilometer. And the Star Level 1 had a 100 kilometers range. However, LuoFeng was a Star Level 2 Spirit Reader. In this Sector Lord's world where the gravity was 3,900 times that of Earth, his range wasn't even 100 m. My telekinesis range is less than 1,000 meters, Aogu said. The Desert of Death is one of the most dangerous regions in the world of thunder. Hong continued, moreover it is currently late at night, and we are unable to ascertain the exact direction. However, the longer they stayed in the Death Desert, the more dangerous it would be. We have to leave immediately. Pick a random direction and move forward as fast as we can. The Desert of Death was one of the forbidden areas of the world of thunder. Even ferocious beasts did not dare to live here. Right, let's hurry up and go, Thunder God said. Let's go in this direction, forward. LuoFeng pointed in a random direction. Instantly, LuoFeng and the other 4 flew into the air. Even though the gravity here was strong, it wasn't to the point where star levels couldn't fly. Of course, due to the astonishing gravitational pull, their flying speed was much slower than before. After flying for about 5 minutes, LuoFeng and the other 4 were still flying swiftly above the Desert of Death. Suddenly, the team's strongest spirit reader Aogu creased his eyebrows. Master, something's wrong. Something's wrong? LuoFeng looked at Aogu. Look behind. Thunder God shouted. Behind? LuoFeng, Hong, Nan He and Aogu all turned to look. Behind them was an earth-shattering black sandstorm, madly heading towards LuoFeng's direction with shocking speed. At the same time, under that earth-shattering sandstorm, there was a group of young men and women desperately fleeing for their lives. Death Dust Storm. Aogu's face was pale. It's the Death Dust Storm, quickly flee. Thunder God shouted. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Hong was panicking too. The 5 immediately flew at their fastest speed. Aogu, in his panic, grabbed onto the slowest flying Hong and Thunder God. LuoFeng relied on the soaring shuttle beneath his feet, flying at a speed similar to Aogu's. The Death Dust Storm, one of the many dangers recorded in the books LuoFeng and the others bought. The Death Dust Storm was one of the 3 great dangers in the Desert of Death. There was no pattern to its appearance. It appeared suddenly, covering the sky and covering the land, making it impossible for people to hide. The experiences of generations of seniors told their juniors. Against the Death Dust Storm, drilling into the desert was courting death. Flying into the sky was also courting death. The only way was to compete with the Death Dust Storm in terms of speed. If the Death Dust Storm hasn't caught up to you before it dissipates, that means you've survived. We've just entered the world of thunder and we've already met the Death Dust Storm. What the hell is this? Thunder God cursed. Look, behind us seems to be one of the 4 Black Cloud Guild teams that entered the world of thunder before us. LuoFeng used his spirit energy to control the soaring shuttle, maintaining its maximum speed. LuoFeng turned to look behind him. There was indeed a small team, young men and women, madly being chased by the earth-shattering sandstorm. Looking at their attire, they were indeed one of the 4 Black Cloud Guild teams that entered the world of thunder before LuoFeng. The madly fleeing team had a total of 6 people, 4 men and 2 women. Madly fleeing for their lives. The Death Dust Storm constantly neared this Black Cloud Guild team. At the back of the team, a sturdy man with a single horn on his head roared angrily and unwillingly. Chi-chi, the Death Dust Storm finally touched this man, immediately engulfing him. The dust storm infused with the universe energies engulfed him. This man seemed to have been ground by a meat grinder. The armor on his body immediately ripped apart, large amounts of blood, flesh and bones flew everywhere. Quickly flee. Quickly. The other 5 members of this Black Cloud Guild team all had ferocious expressions in the face of death. They all exploded with their fastest speeds. And a few kilometers ahead of this team, LuoFeng's team was completely frightened and ran even faster. Quickly, 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 quickly flee. Don't let the Death Dust Storm catch up. Damn, this Death Dust Storm is too terrifying. To actually produce such a strong dust storm, I'm sure, even underground in the desert would be affected by that terrifying stirring energy. No wonder the book said that drilling underground would definitely result in death. Even though Thunder God was nervous, he didn't have anything else to do, because he and Hong were relying on the spirit reader Aogu to carry them. Aogu alone carried 2 others, LuoFeng on the soaring shuttle, and Nan He flying alone. Their speed was indeed very fast. After the Black Cloud Guild team behind lost another 2 slow runners, the Death Dust Storm's speed began to decrease. The energy that filled the sky also began to decrease. Obviously this Death Dust Storm was reaching its end. Phew, we finally escaped. Only then did LuoFeng let out a sigh of relief. Look, the Black Cloud Guild team only has 3 people left. 1-star level 9 spirit reader and 2-star level 2 and 3 youths. Thunder God looked at the 3 swiftly chasing behind him. Amongst the 3, a star level 9 man stood on a round disc, bringing a young couple. Very normal. LuoFeng too gazed at the 3 in the distance. The little teams arranged by the Black Cloud Guild, every team will have a star level 9. The star level 9 members are the babysitters. The ones who are actually here to train and test are the star level 2 and 3 youths. These are the important younger generation elites of the Black Cloud Guild. Those 3 intentionally distanced themselves from LuoFeng's team, flying in another direction. This sudden Death Dust Storm caused the Black Cloud Guild team to suffer heavy losses. Even though LuoFeng's team didn't suffer any losses, they still didn't dare relax. After flying for another half an hour or so. Master, there's a continuous mountain range ahead. Nan He sunken eyes, however he saw an unremarkable mountain range in the distance. We've discovered the mountain range? Luo Feng and his team sped up. Indeed, an endless mountain range appeared before them. This mountain range even had large amounts of trees and plants. Compared to the desert of death, this mountain range was obviously filled with life. It really is a mountain range. Hong Lian lowered his head to look at the AI screen, saying, "Second brother, third brother, according to the map, I think we should have reached the Long Sua mountain range." Long Sua mountain range? Thunder God rushed into the sky, flying high up, carefully observing the mountain range's silhouette, looking at a few special places, after which he lowered his head to look at the AI screen. This should be the middle area between the Long Sua mountain range and the desert of death, the distance to our destination. Demon Moon Lake is 16,000 kilometers. Demon Moon Lake was located within the Long Sua mountain range. It was a lake that was over 100 km wide, as there was a large amount of water here, hence there were many ferocious beast hordes gathered around the lake. Amongst them was the horned iron rhino horde. The horn of the horned iron rhino was one of the items needed to pass this test. Big brother, second brother, we have to be more careful in this Long Sua mountain range than in the desert of death. The desert of death is normally a natural threat, and in this Long Sua mountain range, there are many trees and forests, ferocious beasts. Many of the humans participating in the test will be there. Fighting with the ferocious beasts, killing each other is common. Luo Feng reminded. Understood. Hong and Thunder God nodded. In terms of danger, this Long Sua mountain range was the true danger. Of course. In the world of Thunder, the horned iron rhino horde wasn't just around Demon Moon Lake, there were other places too. However, Demon Moon Lake was currently the closest to Luo Feng and his team. Be careful of the humans, be careful of the natural threats of this sector Lord world, especially the thunder. If there are any signs of thunder, immediately leave the place where you might be struck. Luo Feng still remembered the introduction from the books he bought. The most terrifying natural threat in the entire world of thunder was thunder. This world was named the world of thunder. It was because the thunder in this world was too terrifying, far surpassing the other natural threats. The moment one was struck, even a weaker domain lord would instantly turn to dust. Star level? There was definitely no chance of survival. Danger lurked in the Long Sua mountains. There are berserk beasts 18 kilometers to the right. There are berserk beasts 19 kilometers ahead at 3 o'clock. Luo Feng calmly reported the numbers one by one. The entire team was advancing at a shocking speed. This speed was something that most of the teams in the Long Sua mountain range couldn't even imagine. Because in this realm lord's world, the range of telekinesis was very small, and the exploration of telekinesis would easily attract the attention of ferocious beasts. Therefore, their speed of advancement was usually very slow. One Universe Mercenary trainee exam could take up to 1 or 2 years. However, Luo Feng and the others were advancing extremely quickly. Babata, with you on guard, exploring is indeed much more convenient. Luo Feng praised within. This was dismantled from the Yun Mo planet ship. Everything within a diameter of 20,000 meters is intact. Even a sector lord wouldn't be able to escape detection, let alone these stupid beasts. Babata was extremely pleased with himself. The mountain forest was particularly difficult to traverse. Luo Feng and his team didn't dare to fly because flying in the Long Sua mountain range was equivalent to becoming a target for all the ferocious beasts. The dire beasts could be easily seen when they looked up. One must know that dire beasts could also fly. At that time, a large group of ferocious beasts would besiege them, and they would have nowhere to run even if they wanted to. After spending close to 2 days, Luo Feng's group finally arrived at Demon Moon Lake. Demon Moon Lake. The lake stretched as far as the eye could see, and there was a large open space around the lake. Some of the trees had long been trampled and broken. It was obvious that a large number of ferocious beasts often passed by the lake. There are no ferocious beasts around. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. There's nothing we can do. We can only wait. Thunder God smiled. Waiting here is better than rushing to the next place where a horned iron rhino herd might appear. Our luck isn't bad coming to this sector lord's world of thunder. We haven't even had a real bloody battle. Hong was very relaxed. Of course the main reason they didn't have a battle was because Luo Feng had that warning device. He waited patiently. In the world of thunder, during the day there would be 9 balls of light that were similar to the sun. At night, it would be pitch black, with only very inconspicuous rays of light spilling down. In the forest beside Demon Moon Lake, on the first night of waiting, Luo Feng and the others discovered 3 ferocious beasts that looked like giant lizards. On the second day they found 3 more groups of beasts. They even saw the terrifying scene of beasts killing each other. On the 6th day 9 light orbs hovered high in the sky of the world of thunder. Luo Feng and the other 4 waited silently. What we're doing is called waiting for the hare, right? I didn't expect that I would do something like waiting for rabbits to come to me. Thunder God sat on a tree branch, occasionally looking into the distance. Just come down. If that single-horned iron rhino comes, I'll be the first to notice it. Luo Feng raised his head and smiled. On the ground were some braised meat and other food. These were all well preserved. Everyone. Luo Feng's expression became serious. Hong, who was sleeping beside him, Aogu, who was sitting cross-legged, and Nan He, who was standing guard, swiftly looked over. What's the matter, Luo Feng? A few people looked towards Luo Feng. The horned iron rhino is here. Luo Feng's eyes flashed. They're finally here. The crowd stood up. Follow me. Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle and led the way through the forest. Even though there were many trees and plants in the forest, Luo Feng's nimble movements didn't touch any plants. Behind them Hong, Thunder God, Nan He, and Aogu also quickly followed. Soon the 5 of them arrived at the edge of Demon Moon Lake. The single-horned iron rhinos are coming from that direction. Their speed isn't very fast. I estimate they'll arrive in about 5 minutes. Luo Feng pointed ahead. There's a total of 21 single-horned iron rhinos. After a while, creatures that looked like trucks appeared in their field of vision. Their rock-like skin made it impossible to doubt its toughness. That horn that was as sharp as a scimitar. Under the illumination of the 9 balls of light in the sky, it reflected a cold light. However, its eyes were gentle. The single-horned iron rhino was a very simple ferocious beast. Ferocious beasts, the reason why they were called ferocious beasts was because of their low intelligence. In the universe, monsters were mainly divided into demon and ferocious beasts. The demon race referred to those that had higher intelligence at the student level of humans. Just like the monsters on Earth, they belonged to the demon race. A slightly more mature demon race had intelligence comparable to humans. Because of their intelligence in the vast universe, the demon race was one of the most powerful races. Ferocious beasts had strength but low intelligence. They didn't know how to learn. Some were cruel, some were gentle. The only thing they had in common was their low intelligence. Of course, monsters, other than the demon and ferocious beasts, there were also god beasts. Just like the space beasts, they were known as the space god beast. Damn, this group of single-horned iron rhinos are very strong. Thunder God lowered his head to look at the screen on his arm, communicating through genetic energy. They are very strong. The 5 of us are hard to deal with. We can only think of a way to separate them. Anyway, we only need 5 horns. Luo Feng communicated through spiritual energy to the others. Separate? These ferocious beasts have low intelligence. They should be easy to trick. What way? As Luo Feng and the others were discussing softly, Luo Feng's expression changed. He said softly, a small human team is swiftly approaching. They should have discovered the single-horned iron rhinos that went to drink. As Demon Moon Lake was a lake, there were no obstructions. Even from far away they could still see the monsters in the distance. A small human team appeared in their field of vision. Everyone in the team was wearing the same black battle uniform. Kill? Black silhouettes fiercely burst forth with their fastest speed, creating sonic booms as they charged straight towards the group of single-horned iron rhinos that were drinking. 21 single-horned iron rhinos fiercely raised their heads and looked over. The leader of the single-horned iron rhinos immediately raised his head and let out a majestic and angry roar. Roar! Every single human soldier was incomparably calm. Working together in pairs, they surrounded one single-horned iron rhino and swiftly killed it. A total of 10 members of the team, instantly killing 4 single-horned iron rhinos. 9-star level 9 stages, 1-star level 2 stage. Luo Feng looked at the screen saying softly, this little team, isn't there a little too many star level 9s? That weak one probably has some status, hence he brought so many underlings. Participating in the Universe Adventure Alliance had already become a tradition. One had to know that over 99% of the strong had to go through this test. Many of the disciples of the big families had to go through the mercenary trainee exam. For safety, bringing a group of star level 9 underlings was very normal. Even though the family's rules were to train the disciples, as time went on, many of the rules would eventually deviate from what the family wanted. 9-star level 9s, they can indeed deal with 21 single-horned iron rhinos. Hong said softly. Damn, after waiting for so long, it's been snatched away by some rich kid. Thunder God cursed softly. He was annoyed. However, the opponent had 9-star level 9s, their equipment seemed to be good too, their coordination was excellent. What could his own team do? They could only watch dumbfoundedly. Huh? LuoFeng's eyes lit up. Something good is coming. Something good. Thunder God looked suspiciously at Luo Feng. This is something good? Who knows, we might even be able to get our horns. Luo Feng looked expectantly into the distance. Kill them all, collect the horns of the single-horned iron rhino, we'll immediately leave. A fair-skinned youth wielded a long and narrow battle blade as he battled with the smallest horned iron rhinoceros. This small horned iron rhinoceros only had the strength of a star level 1, and he could indeed trample it as he pleased. Yes. The group of star level 9s replied in unison. Fresh blood flew. Roars of rage and disbelief resounded continuously. One by one the single-horned iron rhinos fell. This group of single-horned iron rhinos was only a star level 9, the rest were even weaker. Against these 9-star level 9s, they were completely at a disadvantage, more and more of them died. Rumble? The earth trembled. A roar resounded from the forest beside. The earth began to tremble, the remaining 5 single-horned iron rhinos immediately roared excitedly. At this time, not too far away from the forest appeared the silhouettes of the huge single-horned iron rhinos. Not good, quickly leave. One of the 9 black-clothed underlings immediately shouted. Your Majesty, over 50 single-horned iron rhinos are rushing over, the few at the front are extremely powerful, quickly leave. Quickly protect the 9th prince. Quickly. Immediately, one of the black-clothed underlings grabbed the 9th prince, stepping on a streamlined flying spirit weapon that looked like a huge sword, swiftly escaping. The other 8 underlings swiftly took a look at the horns and madly followed behind to escape. Large amounts of huge single-horned iron rhinos rushed out, Every single one of them seemed to have red eyes, completely enraged. Over 50 single-horned iron rhinos, and these were all the adult males of the single-horned iron rhinos, all of them madly trampled on the forest ground, madly chasing after the group of black-clothed men. LuoFeng's group of 5 watched as the majestic single-horned iron rhinos madly chased after the elite team, leaving behind only the corpses of the single-horned iron rhinos. Quick! LuoFeng led the way and rushed out. Haha, we got them so easily. Which empire is that 9th prince from? A low-level universe empire or the Black Dragon Mountain Empire? I think he's just a low-level empire that rules over 1 or 2 galaxies. Thunder God muttered. The group of people swiftly rushed towards the single-horned iron rhino's corpse. Even though the group of black-clothed men cut off 10 horns, 6 of the corpses still had horns on them. Poochie. The soaring shuttle became a golden swordfish, directly cutting off the horn on the forehead of one of the single-horned iron rhinos. Hong, Thunder God, Nan He, and Aogu also swiftly went to cut off the horn. In the group of single-horned iron rhinos chasing after the black-clothed men, one of the single-horned iron rhinos turned its head and stared over, letting out an angry roar. Immediately, over 20 single-horned iron rhinos immediately turned their heads and madly rushed over. They hated humans who dared to kill the corpses of their own kind. Quickly! LuoFeng urged. LuoFeng, 12 kilometers away, there's a small team of humans that originally occupied Demon Moon Lake. Right now they're rushing over with astonishing speed, probably to kill you. Babata's reminder rang in LuoFeng's mind.